Greetings guys, back at the movies once again, and thanks to Searchlight Pictures, courtesy of Disney, we've been invited to the brand new film produced by Searchlight, and that is The Testament of Anne Lee. It stars the amazing Amanda Seyfried and also stars Louis Pulman in a bit of a lesser role, and is directed by Mona Fastvold. It is a interesting kind of film. It might be polarizing for some audiences, and it's probably not the most accessible film that I've seen in recent times. And a lot of that is to do with probably a lot of the lack of plot in this film and the lack of narrative drive. It is a slog to watch this film, I will say that. There is some interesting ideas. There is some incredible cinematography at times. Maybe it's not a Steven Spielberg epic, but there is some very interesting shot selections in this. Lots of master shots, very kind of pretty cinematography, some really cool production design as well. And essentially it tells the tale of a religious kind of sect that began in Manchester, England, in the 1700s, and that was led by Anne Lee, who essentially moved her congregation to New England in the United States of America all the way back in the 1700s, and that movement was the Shakers. They were essentially a Christian religious group, kind of verging on evangelical, but there was this unique aspect to them. There was this dance and song that kind of was used in their worship, and from what Amanda Seyfried's been saying in interviews, they might have been at those kind of dances for hours in their kind of appreciation for prayer and God and what they were kind of praying for. Now, it is more of a biopic than a musical. In the marketing for this, they are kind of saying it is a bit of a musical. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. It's really not really getting musical in this film until about half an hour in, and even that is kind of minor. There is some interesting choreography in this, and the way the groups of worshippers are shot in this and their movements is kind of intriguing to watch. But don't think you're going to come into this like a Broadway musical. It's nothing like that. There is song in this during worship. There is this kind of the Shakers kind of unique dance and movement, kind of like being in a trance at times, but really it's more kind of the audience essentially looking over the fence and seeing this unique kind of Congress essentially praying to God in their unique way through kind of movement and kind of trance-like at times, along with song and different kind of aspects in relation to that. So aside from that, the script, a little bit weak. There is not a lot of story in this. There's not a lot of plot. As I said, it is more of a biopic, and kind of it is around award season, so it's not surprising that it is a biopic. But in saying that, there's not much known about Anne Lee at all, really. She is kind of a female leader of a religious kind of sect at a time when males had a monopoly on it. And from what Amanda Seyfried's been saying during interviews, there is this kind of inclusivity to this sect and kind of what Anne Lee really stood for. She was all about kind of male and female equality in this, even though she found herself as the head of the religion, and trying to kind of convey that to the masses. At the time, the peak of the religion, there was about 6,000 followers of it. Obviously, there was their fair share of persecution, and as depicted in this film, is a bit of that kind of frowning about witchcraft and that sort of thing in this. So it does kind of make it a bit of an interesting kind of kaleidoscope and a reflection of the time. I think the 1700s are depicted quite well in this. There is a bit of a dark gloom, especially when we're in Manchester, and even though there's a little bit more light in the colour palette once we get to New England and the United States, there is this kind of gloominess to it, and a little bit of a hope that kind of the world could kind of change and be more inclusive. But as you'd imagine, and you know what's happened between the 1700s and now. It probably is a promise that didn't get really fulfilled, especially for Anne Lee as well. So it is an interesting kind of film to watch, but it's a hard slog. It is slow at times. I think the runtime is perhaps quite a bit too long, and a lot of it could be left on the cutting room floor. But if you do that, you're probably taking out shots that look pretty and cinematic, and then you're left with the remaining plot, and there's not a lot of story in this. They're trying to kind of make it work. It's a challenge to watch, I will say that. It's probably not a must-watch in the cinema, but for those who appreciate the period of the 1700s and appreciate kind of artistic kind of ways of depicting kind of that period, and a little bit of history, even though I'm sure there's a bit of artistic license there, but just seeing a bit of history of that time, it does really make you appreciate the modern times compared to what they used to be. So it is kind of an interesting kind of take on this, courtesy of director Mona Fastvold. Now, this really does feel like a film that's a vehicle for Amanda Seyfried, and one thing she does demonstrate in this is she is a fantastic actress and performer, and also that she is capable of carrying a film. Usually a lot of her other films have had some really decent star power opposite her as well, which has kind of helped along. Pulman is second credited on this, but I don't think he has really a massive major role in this, so it is kind of quite interesting to see how it's all kind of depicted with that. But yes, for me, a little bit of a polarizing film. It's a bit of a film for a niche audience. It's going to be a little bit of a stretch to kind of get audiences to come to this. It's a little bit of a tough sell, but it has artistic elements to it that are kind of intriguing to kind of see on the big screen. I just don't expect too much from this, and don't expect it to be an epic musical. It's an interesting kind of period of time that's captured on screen of the 1700s, and it's a unique kind of picture to kind of watch on the big screen, let's just say that. But yeah, not as immersive as you would expect it to be, and you're not really totally rooting for all the characters in this because of the way the script and the plot is written. There's some tragic moments that happen to some of these characters, but at the same time, they don't do a well enough job in establishing those characters at the start to really make you feel each emotional kind of beat to their kind of characters' journeys, and I think that kind of makes it a tricky sell for audiences in their masses. But it is a very niche kind of artistic kind of piece of filmmaking that does use a lot of fantastic production design and cinematography to replicate the era, and offers a great performance by Amanda Seyfried. I just think everything else kind of falls down because of that script and lack of plot. But aside from that, I'm about to head off. Hopefully you enjoy the footage from the Testament of Anne Lee. Definitely leave a comment to let us know if you have seen the Testament of Anne Lee and what you thought of it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Aside from that, I'm about to head off. I'll catch you guys at the next one. So long.
For those new here, who are unaccustomed to a woman preacher, come nearer to me.
Christ's spirit first appeared as a man, but has reappeared to fulfill the promise of the second coming as a woman. Our Mother Anne.
I have seen a chosen people waiting for us in America. We will plant a great big tree with deep and solid roots. I hunger and thirst. I hunger and
We are so few, yet we have lost so many.
You will go out and make our presence known.
Anne Lee's religion is the spirit of witchcraft.
I cannot preach without being harassed.
Wartime is coming.
Legend has it, there appeared a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. Anne Lee.